go in 1 second. I'm an idiot. Stop that. Damn it all. There we go. Alright, there we go. This will be a video on, well, I'm not sure what, but I guess there's been some shit in the news, or there has been some news recently that is rather interesting, and I'm not sure what to make of some of this, but anyways, remember how I told you Trump refused to bomb? I hate you, fuck you, damn you, go away. 1 minute. Remember how I told you that Trump refused to bomb the shit out of Iran? Well, as you might have guessed, that had consequences. Anyways, before I go into that, let me say, I don't really know what happened with Iran. I don't know if Iran did this. I don't know if it was maybe CIA, Mossad, Saudi intelligence, MI5. I don't fucking know, and I don't really care. The point is, if it was any of those groups, if it was Iran, if it was a combination of the two, Trump is not to blame at this point. I don't believe any further going on for what happens, because Trump did try to prevent a war. He could have already bombed them if he really wanted to. He did not want to do that. That is becoming very obvious to me. He chose not to. He wants peace. He's being the classical liberal candidate that I wanted him to be and that he is being. And whatever happens, like if they do bomb, for example, a fucking ship that has people on it, and it kills American soldiers or who the hell knows, maybe tourists or whatever, that is, not his problem. He has certainly given them a chance, and he put sanctions on them, sanctions as opposed to bombing them, by the way. And they say now that, or they said now that that's going to rule out any ability for diplomacy. And again, I know nothing about this situation. I don't know who's doing what or what's going on or what the hell's pissed Iran off so much. So I can't speak too damn much on this, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's not even the point. Let that segue into another thing that I assure you is very, very connected to that issue, and I'll get to that in a minute. He's being accused of rape now by a person, and I'm not going to say anything bad about this person because I realize that's one of the things that I do wrong, that I think really pisses people off, and they makes them think I'm an asshole. Because I have emotional problems. I do get very emotional, and I'll sometimes say things about individuals. They do or say things I don't like because I get very angry, and maybe I shouldn't do that. It's fucking fairly stupid on my part. It doesn't do any good. But regardless of that, hear me out and listen. She's saying now that she was raped back around 1995 or somewhere in there by Donald Trump. And I'm not saying she wasn't, and like I was about to say, I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she was raped. If she wasn't raped, what the hell happened? I do not know. And if she wasn't raped, I don't know why she's lying. I don't know if she has mental problems. Like, I don't know if she's a truly bad person or if she has mental problems. I don't know. And mental health causes a lot of issues. Believe me, I know about that. But I don't know what happened. But I will say this much in her favor. She says she is not pressing charges. She doesn't want to press charges against him. So even if he didn't do it, I will say this much: even if he's innocent, she's not trying to put him in the slammer. She's not trying to fuck him over on that level. But regardless, it is very, very interesting to me that all of a sudden he says, I don't want to bomb Iran, I don't want to go to war with Iran, I'd rather not go to war with Iran, we're not going to war with Iran. He doesn't want to go to war with Iran. He's trying to keep us out of World War III. He wants to keep us out of a fucking potential world war. And all of a sudden, someone pops up out of nowhere. Gee, he raped me. Um, you don't think that's fucking very curious? And I wonder, will this, without as much validity, maybe even less validity or validation, is the fucking Kavanaugh bullshit that we just remember that didn't happen even that long ago? Are we now going to goddamn go into another fucking session of that crap where now he's going to have to stand for a Congress, Senate, Supreme Court, some other group of assholes, maybe the Vatican, who the hell knows anymore, and defend his innocence when there's no logical, legitimate reason to think he did the shit anyways? Because if not, you're a misogynist. I mean, at what fucking point do you just fucking say that, you know, it's the most outrageous shit, man. And all the hell he's actually fucking legitimately doing, like, there's no proof he ever raped anyone. The only damn thing he ever fucking did, he screwed a porn star. And when he did it was really slimy, I'll say that. I wouldn't have done that if I was him. His wife was pregnant with his son in the damn hospital. Like, I would never do that. But that's not rape. You know? It's fucking outrageous. It's ridiculous. And it's like we're literally at this point in society where your president is in some fucking facility of government being charged with rape. And I don't know if he did it, if he didn't do it. Who in the hell possibly know? I wasn't there, you weren't there. I don't know if she's lying. I don't know if he's a rapist. I don't know. And there's no way to know. I mean, there's not much else to say about that. It's just a fucking mind fuck. And your entire culture and country is a mind fuck. And by the way, about the Iran thing, the best thing that could possibly happen to us in a way, and I don't want it to happen, and I hate to think this would happen or for this to happen, and I don't want to see anyone die. I don't want to see any deaths, but there was a war, like a world war, and it like totally fucked up Madison Avenue and Hollywood and all the Vatican and all this horrible shit that has kept this death grip on this fucking species in this country for so long. And it actually gave us a chance to kind of regroup and reform and really get shit back together and create a new culture and start over. And I would like to forget about the last 1,000 years. Christianity, Islam, communism, Nazism, feminism, all of it. Just start the fuck over. Capitalism, all of that shit. Start over. That may be the best thing. That might be the best thing rather than happen. It's fucking species. But regardless, with all that fucking shit, all I'm saying is there was no proof this man actually fucking raped anyone. He is the setting legitimate president of the United States that was elected. And this is bullshit. And this is the same damn thing I talked about you trying to do to Assad in Syria. You did it to fucking Gaddafi, and now you're doing this guy. And you're trying to come up with the most legitimate way possible to do it in the first world. Because you can't just kill him, or bleed him to death, or lynch him off his ass like we did in fucking Libya and Gaddafi and all that shit. So what you're going to try to do is now you're going to try to charge the men with rape, and you're dragging the entire male gender in this fucking country down under the fucking bus with you, and there's no proof the man did anything wrong. I don't think he did anything wrong. And why? Because he's trying to keep us out of a fucking world war. So there, that's my fucking comment. That's my video. You can like it or not, but I think it's legitimate, and I don't see what I said wrong, and that's that.